somebody answering his phones.
Right.
And he told me exactly what I needed to do. Told him what the problem was. I said, I can get this house for $350,000. I have a buyer for it for $400,000, but I don't know how to do this, and I don't have any money. He said, well, actually, you don't even need any money. You'll need a little bit of money for a deposit. You could probably get away with $500. But if she's not going to give you, or the seller's not going to give you a hard time for a $500 deposit, try writing that on the contract. He's like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to email you contracts right now. They're the same contract, but one of them you're going to use to buy the property, and one of them you're going to use to sell the property. And on one of them, your name is going to be your name and or assignee. And on the other contract, you're going to be the seller, and you're going to be selling it to your friend's dad. And I was like, wow, you can do that? He's like, oh yeah, it's called a skip transfer. He's like, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the money from the end buyer, and I'm going to use that money to pay for your purchase.
Right.
And in a couple of weeks, when all this work is done, come to my office and I'll have a check for you, minus my fees.
Crazy.
That's how I invented wholesaling.
And that's amazing. And ever since then, Jamil Damji is the inventor of wholesaling. I love it.
I mean, and so that's the thing, right? Like, it's funny. It's funny how life is, right? Because we all don't realize it. Even when you're inspired, even when like an idea comes to you, like this idea has happened before. You ain't that special, mofos. None of you are. None of us are. Everything's happened out there. Everything's been done.
Right.
So quit trying to be an innovator. Okay, or quit trying to be an inventor of something and get help. Man, if I had only known that this was like something I would have loved to have learned from somebody. But, that wasn't my story.
Yeah, 100%. I have no idea how I would have done it without you, like without Astro in general. Like I remember just fumbling through my entire first contract. So, okay, I want to keep going with the story. I kind of like had a question that popped in my mind, but going more with the story. We've gone through hell. We're starting to get out of it with more mindset stuff. And you moved to Phoenix. And then what happened?
Well, life, right? Serendipity, coincidence, synchronicities. That starts happening when you start growing. When you start collaborating with your soul, when you start collaborating with your inner power, the world becomes yours. It's like that part of the movie Scarface, when after he overthrows that boss in the early part of the movie, he looks up at the sky, and the blimp is going across, right, the sky, and what's written in the blimp? Do you know what's written in the blimp, Jonah?
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Like, the world is yours,
right?
And that is real. It's like you overcome hell, which is exactly what Tony Montana does in that movie. He overcomes this oppressive hell and he gains the world. And that's exactly what happened. I overcame hell and I gained the world. And so now the synchronicities, the connections, the opportunities, the relationships, the people, the partners, the money, everything just starts coming to me. And I'm just unstoppable now. Like I'm not only am I unstoppable, but people are talking about me. Like they're whispering about me in the backgrounds. They're like, there's this guy, Jamil. He's incredible. You don't even know he does more deals than we've ever seen anybody ever do. This guy is nuts. We don't know how he's doing it. And it got those whispers about me. I actually helped propel them because, part of one of the things I learned, studying POC was mystery sells. Right. And so what I would do is every agent I would talk to and I would complete a deal with, I would tell them, hey, I want to do more business with you under one condition. Never tell people who I am.
Whoa.
They said, what? So I need to remain private. I do not want to be talked about. I don't want my name out there. I never want you to say my name. You continue to remain anonymous, keep me anonymous, keep my name out your mouth, and you and I will do a tremendous amount of business. But you know what people can't help? They can't help talking about that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would talk and whisper and talk and whisper. And Brent Daniels heard about me from an agent and was like, there's this mysterious man, and I'm not supposed to say his name, but it's Jamil Damji, and he's crazy. He's crazy. And this is what I became this enigma in Phoenix. It was incredible. And word of me got to Josiah. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting I get invited to this community service thing that Torsten Colson, another real estate investor here in Phoenix, Arizona, put on. It was this, he invited a bunch of just investors, and Torsten and I were doing deals. Torsten is Cody Sperber's, one of Cody Sperber's people.
Nice.
And Torsten invites me over to his house and says, hey, come to my house. We're going to pack sandwiches for homeless people and bring your kids and we can teach our kids what it feels like to be in service. And then tomorrow, after we pack 1,000 sandwiches, we're going to go down to the park where they all hang out, and we're going to deliver them, and your kids can help, and we can do this. And I was like, yeah, this is great. What a cool way to like show our kids how to not to be, pieces of crap. And so I'm at this sandwich packing party, right? And Josiah comes up to me and he says, are you the guy everyone's talking about? What do you mean? Like, you're the guy who's doing all those deals? Like, maybe. Like, how many deals do you do this month? I was like, 14. He said, what? 14? How the hell did you do 14 deals? I can't even do one.
Interesting.
And then he said, can I do deals with you? Can you let me sell some of your deals? Because I'm an act guy. I'm not a dispo guy. And it's funny, you wrote here, the most powerful disposition wholesale company in the world. I'm an act guy.
Right.
And so I said to Josiah, no, you can't sell my deals because I'm in a relationship with somebody right now. I'm all of my deals go to this other guy. And so
wait, did you use a dispo wholesaler? Just one dispo wholesaler?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Chris Simon, wonderful guy. But the thing about it is that me and Chris were at different stages in our lives at the time. Okay. So Chris was really interested in being on a boat, being on a yacht. He loves vacationing. He loves the Bahamas, and he would repeatedly disappear and not tell me where he was going. Right. And for me, I needed more. I wanted to do more. I wasn't like, I'm not at that stage yet. Right. I'm hustling. I'm just building a brand new family. I got 2 kids now. I got a wife. I'm trying to buy a house. Like, I'm trying to do stuff. I'm trying to make like real bank here. And you being on a boat every so often and not even telling me that you're going to disappear is destructive to my financial life. Right.
Right.
And so Chris does what he does one day and he disappears. He goes to the Bahamas, doesn't tell me he's going. And I'm fed up. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like this. I need to make a switch. So I called Josiah and I said, hey, how you asked me for an opportunity to sell my deal? Okay, well, I got 2. I'm going to give you one first. We'll see how you do. So I give him the deal. He processes it. 30 minutes later, he calls me. He's like, hey, I sold it. I was like, damn, how much? And he tells me, I was like, damn, okay, cool. Here's another one. Half an hour later, calls me back. Sold it.
Interesting.
And I was like, what? So Josiah and I start loosely working together a little bit more. And I still have a relationship with Chris, but I go to Chris and I say, Chris, I have this goal. I have this ambition to start something massive. I want to build a nationwide company that does what we do, but like everywhere.
Right.
And he's like, I don't want to do that, bro. I have nothing to do with that. I don't have the energy for that. I don't want to do it. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to invest in that. I don't have a desire to do that.
Yeah. Different goals.
Right. And to each their own, Chris and I are still friends. We hang out. Like we talk about this story often when we, sit together at a bar and just chat. Right. Like we will reminisce about how messed up life can be and like how funny decisions you make can change your trajectory of your life, because I don't think Chris and I could have built Keegley. There's no way.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Chris and I together couldn't have done it. Right. I needed Josiah. I needed Hunter. I needed those 2. I needed their youth. I needed their energy. I needed their minds because they were really talented at finding buyers.
Right.
And Hunter was really talented at building systems and scaling systems. Right. So these two whippersnappers are showing me my inadequacy. I was a dinosaur in that way. Right. I was still a paper and pen guy. And me, I come onto the calls and I'm like, guys, don't ask me technical shit. I don't want to talk about Podio. There's other people you can talk about Podio with. Okay.
Right.
I'm a relationship man. And this is what half of what we do is relationships. Right.
Right.
It's all of what we do, buyer and seller. Okay. But like the systems and the technologies and things, those are always going to change. They're always going to evolve. They're not for me. I'm a relationship person. I'm going to teach you how to do that.
Right.
And so what we ultimately do is Josiah and Hunter say, okay, Jamil, what we need to do is we need to systemize you. We need to systemize your process. Like, what do you do the moment you wake up till the moment you go to bed? How are you getting all these flipping deals?
Right.
And they
Can
saw.
I want to ask you something. So like this is like an interesting thing to me that I'm curious about in general, like especially your opinion on this, of just partners in general. Like is it like falling in love? Like when I think of falling in love, like in the sense of just like you just feel it with a partner, or is there some like logic you have to it? Like how did you just kind of know they were the guys?
Well, they had what I didn't. That was it. I think we make mistakes when we make partnerships a lot of times, is that we make partners with friends. And we tend to be
Right.
friends with people like us.
Right.
I'm not friends with Josiah and Hunter. We don't hang out. I love them. They're my brothers, but we don't kick it. We're so different. Like you couldn't pick more different people from each other.
Yeah. I also couldn't imagine you and Pace like starting a business together. That would be
We
like,
couldn't. We're too close. We're too the same. You know what I mean? Like Pace and I would be terrible business partners.
right.
But in life, because what ends up happening is people like Pace and I would attract each other. And what ends up happening is that when you attract each other and you become friends with each other, then you start talking to each other. Then you say, hey, you want to start a business together? Okay, let's do it. And then you go off and then it blows up because y'all are the same.
Interesting. Okay. I got
and
that.
so what it was is logically I was looking, I'm like, I can't do what these kids are doing. I can't do what they do. I don't have Josiah's a very steady, discerning man. And he was young, but like I had to really check my ego at the door, right? Because I was literally giving away half of a company to children at the time. I mean, they're both men now, but like back then they were kids. I was way older than them. I mean, Hunter was not, I don't even know if he was 18 yet.
Oh, damn. That is really young.
You know, so like all this was a thing. And I had to really come to grips in terms with my ego in that and be like, you know, these guys are young, you know, but like they're smart. Like they are two of the smartest people I know alive. You know, and so and I knew that then. I saw it in them. I saw this. I felt it, man. I felt very confident that I had found two people that were going to help me get my vision materialized. And they did.
I love it. That's so cool. So yeah, I love it. Like you're building Keegly. It's going amazing. I'm curious, what's the story of Astro? Like, where did that even come from? Because I'm just curious. I know Josiah started doing the lessons, but do you know the origin story of that?
Yeah, I mean, Josiah, he had come from Cody Sperber's world, right? And so Josiah was originally Cody Sperber's intern. And so he saw the world of education. He knew what it was all about. He knew how to create products. He knew how to sell them. You know, he understood about digital marketing. Like he was in the know about this. And so it was originally something Josiah was going to do on his own. He gave me a portion of ownership in the company out of love, because he was literally using my strategies and my techniques and selling them. Right. And I was okay with it. You know, I was getting paid. I was making money on it. I didn't have to do anything. So I was fine with it.
Right.
But there came a point where I started my friendship with Pace. And Josiah was over here doing astro flipping, and Pace and I started to pop. Like our social media following started to become something. And I started to gain a lot of traction just publicly. People were like, whoa, this, you know, who's this dude? And so Josiah was looking at me, and he was looking at the trajectory of what was happening with my personal brand. And he's looking at astro flipping, which was basically me. Everything that I had brought to the table, he was selling. Of course, I was making money on it, but he was thinking like, oh, what I got to do is put these two together.
Right.
If I give Jamil Astro, then he's going to take it from where I have it, and he's going to go with it.
Right.
Right. And that's what happened.
I love it. So this is also something I'm curious about, because I missed some part. We went from you're the most mysterious man in Phoenix to a superstar TV sensation. So, like, how did that happen? And then also, what changed in your philosophy from Tupac's "Stay Mysterious" to no, I need to be louder?
Well, Pac was famous, right? So
Right. Yeah.
it wasn't that, you have to be mysterious, but people don't have to know everything about you,
Right.
right? I think the thing is that my goals changed. I really did want to remain anonymous. Remember, Pace will tell this story all the time, but when he met me, my social media profile picture was an owl.
Hilarious. I love it.
I was unknown, dude, like unknown. My name was there, but it was an owl, and he had heard the whispers about me. Right. So he had heard like there's this guy, Jamil, nobody's supposed to know about him, but he's a gangster. This guy's legit. Like he gets it done, So Pace was going through something with another individual that was ripping him off. And I knew the guy who was ripping him off. I had done business with that guy and he had ripped me off. Right. So I knew all about this dude. I had distanced myself from him. I shouldn't say he ripped me off because I willingly allowed him to do what he did to me. I needed to learn though. And so I was learning from him by paying the tax.
Right.
I paid the man the tax because he was teaching me stuff. And so, but Pace, he was truly ripping Pace off. Like he was robbing Pace.
Right.
And so Pace comes to me and says, I know you've had dealings with this guy. I need help. I'm a family, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like this man owes me a bunch of money and I'm worried. And I invite Pace over to my house for dinner. And I say, I want to show you something. I'd uncovered a Ponzi scheme. I knew this guy was running a Ponzi scheme. I saw it. It was writing was all over the walls. I was looking at the deeds of trusts that were being recorded on the properties. I was looking at the prices of the deed. I was looking at the amounts the deeds of trust were. I'm really good at comping, so I know what stuff was worth. And I'm like, oh no, this is a powder keg. This man is 120% leveraging everything he's buying.
Damn.
Everything. And he's making Pace pay for the construction of these properties.
Right. There's
only a moment of time before this thing goes boom. And so I show Pace this. I'm like, look at this. Look at every transaction here. This man is upside down. Millions. There's no way out of this. Stop. He didn't listen. Pace didn't listen. He was 250,000 in the hole when he went in, and he gave him another 750. So Pace was, I think, even more. Like Pace, he took Pace for over $1 million.
Right.
But Pace and I developed a friendship in that. And so Pace now trusts me, right? Because he's like, wow, you told me the truth. You like laid it all out for me. You tried to help me. And then when he had to start all over again, he came to me. So I started doing wholesale deals with him. I started dispoing his houses. I started, doing deals with him, giving him buy numbers, helping him out, trying to help him out of this rut that he got himself into with this dude. And so that friendship blossomed. And Pace was already on social media. He was already, Insta famous, if you want to call it. Like he at the time, maybe he had 10 or 15,000 followers. So, and to me, that was a lot because I didn't even, I didn't even have like 2, right?
Right.
So I'm, around Pace all the time, and he's always making stories. And then, I'm in the story all of a sudden. And then I was like, well, I guess I'll reshare it. And then COVID happened. And so COVID comes around, and I'm like, I'm bored. What am I going to do? So I start taking walks around my neighborhood, and I turn my iPhone on, and I just started yipping in the iPhone, talking about my opinion on what was going on with the business, where I thought wholesaling was headed, where I thought the market was headed, and I was right about all of it.
Yeah.
People started listening, and then away we went.
I love it. So wait, what do you recommend to somebody though? I'm curious. Like, would you because that you did get a lot from being mysterious, but then also you got obviously a lot from being public.
Oh, I got way more from being public than I was from being mysterious. Okay. Mysterious was fun, and it did its job. But really though, like, I mean, how many times can somebody pull that off?
Right.
You're way better. You're going to have way more results. Like, you look at my results being mysterious versus my results being public, and my results being public is like, it's a stratosphere. I'm not even on planet Earth anymore with it,
Yeah. I think it's crazy. I can't believe you started social media right when COVID started. Like, that's when you really started doing it. Like, you've exploded in 2 years then. Like, that's pretty damn insane.
TV show, nothing. I had nothing.
Right.
And but pre-COVID, I had nothing going on. No YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel during COVID. I took over Astro during COVID. All of it. I did it all during COVID. I was like, It all happened like that little time. I turned my iPhone on. I started taking my walks and I started talking in the phone. And I don't know, man, my posts just started getting crazy.
I don't know if I want to get as big as you guys, but I definitely want to get bigger. Like, what advice do you have, like, content wise, or like, what do you think someone should do to an aspiring person who's trying to like grow a following?
Give it all away. Share it. Share everything, man. Look, people buy astro flipping not just for the material. I teach so much on my YouTube for nothing.
Right.
I give so much away. Why are you in astro flipping? For the community.
Right.
The value is in the people and the connections, right? We're the largest, most successful wholesaling community on the planet. And the amount of deals we do with each other, all the interconnectedness, all the money that flows between students and community, like, bro, it's bananas. Right? So like this, if you're watching this right now, you're like, I don't know if he's going to teach me anything that I don't already know. I don't know if I will either. But let me tell you this, the community is worth 1,000 times what you pay.
100%. Like I'll as a student, I'll promote it too, in the sense of like, I wouldn't be where I am now without Astro. And without you, dude. Like, I mean, like, also beyond just the community, the fact that you answer all our questions twice a week, every single week, no stopping, is like incredible, guys. Like, I mean, to have like the best wholesaler in your back pocket on your team is just an insane amount of value. So
the second thing I want to tell you is consistency. And I've been watching you, Jonah. I've been watching your consistency, and you've got that piece. The deal is, bro, is that like, you never know. You never know when it's gonna pop. You never know who's gonna watch it. You never know where it's gonna go. You don't know. But what you do, consistency will work.
Yeah,
that's it. Like, what you do, consistency will work. It's consistently will work. It's like, the problem is that we give up. Like, we always give up right before the good thing's gonna happen. And you know the thing about me, dude, I don't quit.
right.
I don't have that. My mom, that's Pac. That's me. Like, that's the inspiration that they gave me, was, you ain't ever gonna quit. You show up.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, no, like I mean, like, I just know it from the fact that, like, I knew it from the wholesaling, like, let alone freaking social media, is like, the thing that I find, I'm curious what you think of this, at least what I've seen, because obviously there's a high rate of failure with things like real estate and like becoming social media and stuff like that. But I'm curious if there's anyone who fails if they consistently do it every single day. Like,
Nope.
like, to me, that's the crazy thing, right? Like, that's what in my head, where I'm like, wait a minute, I think if you I think that what people don't get, it's not the doing real estate, it's the doing it every single day is the part that people fail at. And it sounds like you agree, but I'm curious what your opinion of that is.
That's all it is. You know, the high failure rate is the quit rate, not the failure rate. The quit rate's high, bro.
Yeah.
We like, human beings, man. We sell our souls for so little. It's sad.
No, I get that. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it with some of my friends who like are like struggling and like don't really know what they want to do, which I get. I mean, I'm pretty young. I'm in my 20s, so a lot of 20-year-olds are like that, but it's true that people forget that we only have one life. And I hope that what people get out of this podcast is just, especially, obviously your story is amazing, but especially that last part. This is something that's been thinking in my head of like, I don't think anyone fails if they actually try and do it every day. The issue is like, people get like bored, or they don't have like that motivation, or like they just,
no, it's the result, bro.
Scam.
It's the result. It's not boredom. What's going to happen is this video is going to get 6 views. Okay, look, not this one, but let's just say this video gets 6 views.
Right.
Okay?
We got 4 people watching live, let's say.
Okay, so 4 views.
Yeah.
Okay. So this video gets 4 views. You get discouraged and you stop, because you're like, I had the biggest wholesaler on the planet on my podcast and I got 4 views.
Right.
It ain't gonna work. That's the problem. That's our problem every time, is that we stop because we don't get the result we want when we want it, because we're babies. No, and it's like, if it's not gonna happen, if it's not gonna happen when I want it to happen, then when, and I'm gonna quit, because your dreams give a shit. They don't. Your dreams don't give a shit about you. You give a shit about your dreams. So go chase it. You know, that's what it is. Like the thing about this, bro, I know what you want. I know you want to grow a following. I know it'll help you do more deals. It'll grow everything you do. Right? Like it's true. When you have attention, when you have eyeballs, you get richer.
It's true.
It happens. It is a byproduct of attention. So getting more attention will fill your pockets. It happens naturally. So I understand why, but be honest about it. Know that you want it. There's other piece about this too that a lot of folks don't say is they don't say they want to get famous. They don't say they pretend like they don't want it.
Right.
They lie their butts off. They say, I'm doing it for this. I'm doing it for that. Get real. Yeah. Everybody likes the spice. And Pace and I talk about it all the time. The spice is attention. We all want it. So let's just be real about it.
No, I agree. Like I 100% do. It's ego. There's definitely ego in it of being like, oh, somebody recognizes me at the Phoenix meetup and I have no idea who they are. Like, it's like, I don't want to say that makes me feel good, but it definitely does in the sense of like, damn, all, look,
the realer you get with yourself, the realer you get with life it's the faster you will accelerate your propulsion into living your better life. The hints are in art. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that so many artists have talked about truth?
Because I don't know why. What do you think?
Because that's what people want. You want attention? Be real. Why do you think Donald Trump became the president of the United States?
Because he just always said what he thought.
Because he just said what was real to him. His authenticity pushed him out. Now, like him or hate him, nobody's going to deny the guy was real about it. And it got him everywhere he wanted to be. And so, you know, the truth will set you free.
No, I love it, man.
What I want everybody who's watching this or who does watch this is just get real with yourself. If like you really want something in life, say it, do it.
I love it, man. Thank you again so much. I mean, we've talked about this before, or I hope I've texted you this before, but I just want you to know this, and I want to say it publicly, because I want to be as public as possible, is like, you've not only helped me become a better real estate investor, you've helped me become a better man in a lot of ways, dude. Like, having you at the top, preaching what you preach about, like, basically, like, staying in light and speaking truth and stuff like that. I might have known this stuff logically, but seeing someone who's doing what I want to do, who's also preaching this, it's helped me become a better human being. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything you do, everything you've done for me, everybody else. And thank you for coming on the podcast.
Happy to be here, bro. Good luck with it all. You're doing a great job, Jonah. And man, look, you're my brother. You know, I watched you bang your head against the wall trying to figure this stuff out. And then I watched you become a 6-figure investor, you know, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, changing other people's lives and giving back to them, like turning around and helping the guy behind you up. And so for me, this is easy. You know, being in your world is easy because I see your heart and we align in that way. Like you're a good man, right? So you keep doing the thing you're doing. You keep inspiring people. And guys, you know, pay attention to this man. He's going places.
100%. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here. Jamil, thank you so much. Scorch the Fears, episode 48. We are out. I will see y'all next week. Let's go.